You had a bit of a epiphany or revelation in your session about when you were when you were created.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting topic, isn't it?
It is.
So basically, okay, right, the topic of conversation we're currently discussing is the energy that is surrounding the conception of a child. So the circumstances that surround the conception of the child and the energy of both parents at conception of the child, and then that child embodying that energy.
Yes.
Prior to being born. So when they're born, they literally are embodying other people's energy or the energy of conception.
Yes.
That's right, yeah.
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 Because as well, I mean, I was thinking about it, and there's lots of different things that can come of it. I mean, if you think about it, what about babies who are born to mothers who, I don't know, were a little bit struggling to pay the rent,
like financially struggling,
and maybe like prostitution, like even if it wasn't what you would deem as the ordinary prostitution, standing on the side of the road and waiting for somebody to come up in the car. You know, what if it was more of just a one-off, and that baby became pregnant, gave a man sex to get money because they were struggling. That baby's born to and would become the product of lack.
Yeah.
Or even what would that baby's relationship be with money? It would be money has power attached to it.
Yeah. So no, yeah, that, I mean, the energy of lack could be imprinted into the conception, yeah. If, I mean, obviously using prostitution as an example, that mom had to do that. So yeah.
But there's so many different ways you can see how it could play out. There's good and bad scenarios. Another not bad because I don't want to call it bad, but another what people would maybe feel maybe a bit more negative could be how about if a person in active addiction.
Yes, and also when that baby is born, they are actually born addicted, so have to go through detox.
Yeah.
And I used to trying to be a midwife, so I've seen babies in active detox. It's not pleasant, but
if you think about it, doesn't even necessarily need to be active addiction, but just somebody that is on a substance at the time, whether that be alcohol, drugs, to the point where they've blacked out or they're not completely conscious, and then they have sex and the baby is conceived. It's okay. So what I'm trying to say is that possibly the mother in that situation, if she's unaware of the sexual act, being unaware of the potential to conceive a baby, because she's even unaware of the fact that she's having sex, could that lead that baby to be the product of living a life where they feel that they're not seen? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah.
When you look at it and you put all the different scenarios on it, there are so many different possibilities. I feel we need to come up with a positive one as well to balance out what we're saying.
The positive one would be two people genuinely, deeply, passionately in love with each other have made the decision to have a child.
Maybe
no onus on it. It is just what it is, and it is made through a deeply loving act.
If you also think as well, in a more positive way, if it's two people that are not necessarily even in love, but just really like
horny for each other.
The lust is there, and they're proper want to, both horny. They both really want each other.
Yeah.
That really gives me like, the king or the knight of wands energy.
Oh yeah,
and it makes me wonder if you'd have a baby then who
embodies that energy.
Proper go-getter, somebody that's motivated, determined, always living in their chariot era. Really, somebody that goes after what they want, takes all the action, lots of confidence, oozes sex appeal. But may they have an inability to stay.
Yeah, because they're always chasing that almost like dopamine fix.
That kind of, and the lust always wears off no matter who you're with.
So the light, the shine wears off and the boredom steps in.
And could that then present in lots of aspects of that child's life, becoming an adult, such as, I really want this job, they go out there, they get the job, and then all of a sudden, now I need another job.
And
like
player energy, they go relationship to relationship, because instead of looking for the long term, they're always looking for the short term passion.
Yeah.
Which ultimately always fizzles out.
Yeah. It's so interesting because, I mean, like, if you think about yourself, then you can kind of.
Are you saying I'm a knight of wands?
No, not you personally. I'm just talking in general. That
wouldn't mind.
Makes you wonder about your own conception.
Well, yeah, because there's lots of ways you can be conceived, I guess. Be it good, bad, whatever. And conception is the merging of two individuals' energies.
Yes.
So the sperm goes into the egg. We all know our science lessons. The sperm goes into the egg, which creates a one. But that one then splits and splits and splits. So whatever energy is within the initial sperm and egg will embody that embryo, which then will split. So that will then go into every other cell it splits and multiplies into. So any baby being born is literally, byproduct's not the right word, because that's not the word, but it literally is the embodiment of two different people's energies.
Yeah.
So really, are we ever born of our own energy? And is that what this whole taking into like the spiritual journey, where it's about uncovering the true self and getting back to the true self?
Yeah.
Is that what that's talking about, where we have to shed the energy of our parents, as well as everything else that's gone on in life, the conditioning, everything. But ultimately, we have to shed the energy of our parents at conception.
Yeah.
Because that was the energy that created us.
Yeah.
To get back to our true essence prior to that.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I think as well, it's similar to, so our bodies are important, but we are not our bodies.
No.
But part of the journey is discovering that you're not your body. Your body, you can have a relationship and communicate with your body, and that's really important. But we aren't the body.
No.
And it's very similar to that. So part of going through the healing process or the journey of life is about, like you just said, going back to your true self and shedding the layers, whether that's mum, dad, the body.
Yeah.
And ultimately finding the true you.
Yeah.
And it sometimes maybe, I mean, so I'm thinking now, it's making me think about, I like that house.
Huh? Oh, that's that had hot chocolate in as a
I
gift.
like that.
And it's got a little tea light in it, battery operated, so it lights up. Oh. So cute.
So yeah, it makes me think as well, like growing up as well. I don't know about you, but for me, my head's quietened down. As I've got older and as I've done my healing, my head has gone quieter. So my head was forever, it was constantly on the go.
And mine's always on the go.
Mine has started to quieten, and I've only noticed it over the last sort of 3 or 4 months.
Okay. I think mine's down to my neurospiciness. Shut up.
But as well, the voices in your head that you hear, are they all you? Because obviously we have spirit and guides and other aspects of self that will be in our minds, in our head, that we will hear. But you wonder sometimes, because of there's this scenario with the devil and the angel, and there's like, I don't know about you, but for me, for a long time, there was a bit of an argument going on in my head. Like, I'll do this, no I won't, yeah I will, no I won't, yeah I will.
Yeah.
And is that mum and dad? Can that part of that be mum and dad? Is it? Because you're still carrying that energy.
Could very well be.
And is it about, to quieten the noise, you need to be you, the singular?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see where you're going with that. Yeah, no, it very well could be, because they're 2 completely different energies, aren't they? And even in like everyday normal life, your parents have different views and opinions on what you should or shouldn't do, and and that could be seen as the internal energy of mum and dad.
Yeah.
And needing to quieten that down to get to self.
It's not something I've ever heard anyone talk about before, about this. How did you word it? When we are conceived, when we are created, we create, well, everything. I don't want to say product, but
yeah, it's not a product, but we are a merging of 2 different energies, because everything's energy, everything's created from energy.
So we have found with clients that when we look at their parents' relationship, when we look at maybe where their parents were in their life and what was happening with their parents at the time of their conception, we see parts of that in the client going forward. And I've not heard anyone else speak of this, but it is a pattern that we've picked up on, isn't it? And so there is definitely something in that when it comes to healing, I'm not saying always, because sometimes there might not be a need, but in a lot of cases it's important to look at, and you're not always going to know.
Yeah, no, you're not.
But for the people that do know, what was happening at the time of their conception, what was the parents' relationship like, if they had a relationship. And because that, I feel, is quite an important part of the journey for a lot of souls.
Yeah, and like, say for example, like one night stands, like go out, night out, there's no like judgment on anyone else. One night stands, you know, you do you, boo. What makes you happy? We've all done it. But so you go out, you get drunk, you have fun, one night stand, hook up, never see that person again. You get pregnant, maybe. Is the energy then that creates that child going to be one of, say,
struggle to commit, maybe?
Struggle to commit, yeah, or feeling, what's the word I'm trying to say? Where, not lost, that's not the word I'm trying to say. Where they feel like maybe they have abandonment issues.
Yeah.
That's what, like...
So, yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right, because
neither person's going to...
We look at a 23-year-old lady, she comes to see her, she's got abandonment issues. She knows she's got abandonment issues. That's what she's here to heal. She knows that. And what a lot of people do, they'll look at childhood, they'll look at the teenage years, they'll look at all of that because it's important. But she still tends to go away, and she's healed a lot, but there's still something that's niggling. And I feel that sometimes it's because they haven't gone far enough back. They haven't gone.
Sometimes it is the conception that could cause a lot of things.
Because, like you said, it is the energy at that moment in time that creates the baby that makes the conception happen.
So therefore that energy,
it doesn't just leave. That
baby
energy
is the embodiment of that energy.
Of that energy, and that's where it started.
Yeah, so like sexual assault and things like that, that energy that's surrounding that. So the child will be conceived of like fear, anger, helplessness.
And it may be, for a lot of people, everybody's different and everybody's healing journey is different, and the way that people heal and how people heal and the time it takes is different for everybody. And it may be that a child could be born to something quite sinister, some kind of sexual assault, and yet mom takes that baby after what happens, and mom does her own healing, which then extends to the child. And it may be, I'm not saying that every child born of that situation is going to grow up with problems.
No.
Because it may be that the mum did a good enough job, or maybe the child is adopted and the adoptive parents are able to work through that, not consciously, because they're not going to turn around to their child and go, "Nah, we're going to sit you down because you are a product of this that happened and we need to talk about it." I'm not saying in a conscious way, but just in a very spiritual way, without even knowing they're doing it. They're able to give the healing to that child as they're growing up, so that child grows up very healthy and doesn't have those lingering problems.
Yeah.
And that is amazing, and that can definitely happen, and it does happen. But there are going to be times when there is somebody walking around and they are wondering, who didn't necessarily heal through childhood, and they could be thinking, they might have had a fantastic childhood, but still didn't receive the healing. And it might be that they did have a fantastic childhood and they might have abandonment issues, and they might look back and be always wondering, but why? Because I've always had a fantastic life. I've not been abandoned in my life. That's never been part of my life. But it's still there lingering, and it's from conception.
Yeah. Or have anger issues. Why?
Yeah.
Why am I always angry?
A lot of people have anger issues and don't know why.
Yeah.
There isn't a reason when they look back on their life. I've known a couple of people that have said to me, I don't get where it's come from. I was born angry. I've heard that.
Angry. That is said. I was born angry. They were just born angry. No, they weren't just born angry.
I'm going to actually say, use myself as an example here. And if you're watching Uncle Peter, Uncle Peter, he's lovely, bless him. He says it how it is. He just says it out, right? And he actually, he turned around to me once, and that's what he said. He said, you were born angry. And I was like, was I?
Have you ever delved into that?
But I don't remember being born, so I can't confirm whether Uncle Peter's right and whether I was born angry. According to him, I was born angry. However, what I will confirm is that I was an angry child.
You were?
Oh, I was terrible. Yeah, I'm not an angry adult, but I was an angry child. Yeah, I was the child at school that was always getting into fights. I was the child that, but I wasn't always angry for a bad reason. I was the child that stood up for other children that were being picked on. I was never a bully. There's a difference between being angry and being a bully. I was never ever a bully. I would be the one that would then go and beat the bullies up. Because I couldn't condone that.
Yeah.
Or if anybody picked on me, sometimes my reactions, and I will hold that and admit that, my reactions were a little bit over the top. So somebody might call me a name, I'd throw a house brick at their head. That kind of thing.
I'm with you, I was just the same.
So Uncle Peter's right. If I remember being angry, as young as 3 years older. My poor sister. Yeah, I remember being angry from as early as I can remember. So it goes to stand that before that I was probably angry, so I was born angry. Why was I born angry? So now I'd have to look at my conception.
You'll have to look at your conception and see what kind of energy was surrounding your conception. But it's fascinating, and it's because I was getting these downloads whilst on a bit of a shadow work session using, what should we call it? I don't know if I don't think they ban you off YouTube for saying it, but using cannabis, marijuana, which I actually was using for medicinal purposes to try and help me sleep, because I have fibromyalgia and I'm not sleeping and I'm in a lot of pain. So it was actually to do that.
And you went off, didn't you?
But the byproduct of using this, I have come to the realisation.
It's just...
No, I don't recommend it at all. But the byproduct of doing that, I learned that it is phenomenal for shadow work.
Anything psychic, really. I think it depends on your intention.
Well, yeah, because I did use it and I did set intentions before using it that I wanted to have some sleep for a start. I needed to sleep, and I was also looking to have some heart healing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the byproduct of using that was the shadow work was not phenomenal, which for me is really good, because I don't intentionally ever set out to do shadow work. Like, I think I do it subconsciously and things. I don't actually consciously choose to do it. So whilst in this like space of working through stuff, this download of energy, of the way children are conceived and the energy that they kind of embody at the point of conception, came through. Mm-hmm. Because my conception was not necessarily loving.
The healthiest.
The healthiest. Which, I'm fine. I actually hold no energy about that. So I don't mind talking about it. But yeah, I have always had things like huge anger issues, which I've learned to control now. Always had abandonment issues, but then I didn't have the greatest childhood. Abandonment issues. There's always been like this... help me out, Vic. I can't think of the words.
You said anger.
Yeah. Not victim mentality, because I don't have that. But what?
You're very independent. You don't rely on others, and whether that's because of you.
It's not good. Hyper independence though. I'm just like, I do everything myself.
But that's what I mean. But is that as well, because it's like, well, in order to protect myself, I will do it. It's
yeah. Like I do have a lot of like protection mechanisms in place.
So you've always felt the need to protect yourself.
Yeah, and not so much now, but a lot of them weren't healthy back in the day. So I think I was definitely born angry. And there is like an underlying energy of fear, even though I don't necessarily show it, but sometimes there is.
But again, the underlying energy of fear could be masked with the hyper independence.
Well, yeah, I do, yeah.
Because it's the independence is your way of. So it's a defence mechanism in a way.
I'm not scared.
I don't need you. I can do this.
Yeah. And that's what came through the session. Also, the fact that I like to have huge boundaries and push people away, because you're not getting too close to me. Mm-hmm. So this all came through in this session. So yeah, it's phenomenal for healing, for like shadow work. If you're not one of the people that intentionally wants to sit down and do it. And that's where this epiphany came from, which led me to think that, okay, so I'm not a special bird. I'm not the only one.
You are special.
No, but you know what I mean. I'm not the only one who would have been. We're all conceived.
Yeah.
Everyone is conceived. So if it stands to reason, because I was told basically that the energy of my conception was literally infused into every cell of my being.
Yes.
Well, I'm not special, so that happens to everyone.
That would happen to everybody, and I think it is important to say again what we said earlier, though, that it's not always gonna present in life as a problem for everybody because of.
And they're not all negative.
They're not all going to be negative experiences, and even the negative ones. Serve
a purpose.
I mean, like with me, we've been born angry, apparently. I mean, my parents were actually in a loving marriage, but it might not have necessarily been that my parents, when I was created, had problems with one another. There could have been
anything.
Work getting them down. It could have been, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to. I mean, I don't think either of them really appreciated the jobs they were in back then. It could have been anything. It might not have been their relationship with one another.
Energy exchange is so real.
And sometimes as well, people... I don't really want to talk about my mum and dad's sex life. It's weird, but...
don't have to.
it makes me wonder, you know... Because I've done it. Everybody does it. Lots of people do it. It's quite known that... When, you know, you're feeling a bit crap. Whether that's a bit down, a bit... You know, something's not going right, or you... the kids are driving you mad. I hope I'm not on my own when I say this, but you can sometimes go to bed and use sex then as a distraction or as a...
It's a release of frustration.
It's a release. I think that's what I'm trying to say, and I couldn't think of the right word.
People do, because that's the thing. See, I'm not trying to put like a negative onus onto it, but people actually have the very wrong idea of what sex should actually be, and they use it for their own means and gains, consciously or subconsciously. So they use it as a release of frustration, or as a control thing, or as to satisfy their own personal cravings.
Yeah.
That's not what it's supposed to be about. The energy that surrounds it.
Yeah.
We kind of lost sight of what sex should be.
And it could be that it's one parent more than the other that might be experiencing a certain energy.
Yeah.
But that overrides the other person's energy because it's stronger.
Yeah.
And that maybe that could, that release of frustration, where does that release to?
Exactly.
So I'm born frustrated.
You're born frustrated.
Maybe it wasn't anger so much, it was frustration.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that happened because I don't want to talk about what that's.
But it is. Energy exchange is very real, especially and most prevalently during sex. You cannot have more of an intimate exchange of energy than doing that at all. And like, you carry other people's energy from that with you for a long time, unless you're cleansing your own energy field and cleansing that energy out, and you're constantly then sharing it.
Yeah.
Just think of it as an STD. Like, literally, if you don't clean yourself, you pass it on. And whatever state you're in, you pass that on.
So how can people heal that if they are aware of their conception and how it may have presented? And
I've come to the realisation, because I've always thought, right, not always, but for a long time thought that healing, you needed to, I don't know, there was some like mystical, magical way to heal, right? There was like this specific formula, and you'd know when you'd healed, and you'd light would be shining out of every orifice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not. I've learned that healing is purely the observation of the problem. By witnessing the thing, you observe it. You see that has happened, or that is what it is. You bring it into your awareness, and you can then consciously choose to let go of that.
Okay.
It is literally, because a lot of the time, the things you're healing are things you're not even consciously aware of. But once you bring something into your conscious awareness, if it's causing, say, like, a pattern of behaviour, once you become consciously aware of, I have an XYZ pattern of behaviour, this is where it's stemming from. You don't really need to worry about where it's stemming from once you realise where it stemmed from. Then you consciously start focusing on the pattern of behaviour, and you'll notice that every time it kind of comes up, you'll start to notice you're doing it. And you're like, no, I'm not doing this. So then you make a conscious choice not to do it. And over time, the pattern of behaviour goes. But just becoming aware of the energy itself is the healing. Because all of these things are subconscious. So until I had my little epiphany session,
Mm.
which must have been divinely guided, because I don't usually have like that stuff ever, because it makes me super paranoid for a start off.
Oh, yeah.
But we tried a tiny little bit, and I don't consciously do shadow work either. I don't consciously look at things that need healing. A lot of the time I do it subconsciously or in my dream state, but obviously this is something that was important for me to become aware of, so I can look at kind of the energy that surrounds that and realise, is there still energy there or is there not? Well, I feel absolutely nothing when I talk about it. So that means I'm very neutral on that subject, which means there is no energy charge there anymore. So whatever I've done through my life, I must have healed it. Okay. But if, say, I looked at it and I felt any sort of emotion towards it, then I haven't healed that, and then you would look at healing it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just witnessing it, seeing your emotions around it. If it's neutral, you're fine. Let it go.
What, and if it's not?
And if it's not, then look at why you're still feeling these emotions.
Okay.
And then you do get to a state of neutrality, you can let it go.
So now I want to sort of extend it back a bit. So we've talked about conception and how that can be important as a key or a clue as to why certain things are the way they are for you, and where you need to do some healing. A lot of people who come for healing, especially to us, we have found that one thing that comes up a lot is past life work.
Yeah, a lot.
So, okay, conception's important.
Oh my God, we were speaking about this yesterday.
Were we?
In my reading, remember? Past life.
Right. The energy is important. The conception bit is important. But in order for you to be the soul that's conceived from that energy, because like attracts like, do we need to look at, not necessarily karma, but do we need to look at the energy that you had or held at the point of death in your past life? Or in a past life? Because for you to sort of marry up with that energy.
Yeah. Explain that a bit more.
So, okay, I'll take myself again for an example. Apparently I was born
angry.
And yeah, I feel the whole resonance with the, you know, this is what we've talked about with conception. And that conception would have created the energy or the me to be the embodiment of an angry energy. Okay. But for me to be the soul, because we do, like, if we go back to, you know, what about our own true energy? Before we even find what we are at the point of source, because of that's not going to be angry.
No.
If in my past life, for me to attract as a soul for that conception that was sort of angry, I'm not saying it was angry, but
not the soul, but the energy that created the physical vessel of you that the soul resides in is angry.
There would need to have been what's the word? An attraction.
As in for your soul to learn.
Okay, I'm not explaining this one, am I? Right.
There has to be an attraction.
Right, so, okay.
Would it not just be that your soul wanted to experience?
But we attract what we are.
In this 3D realm, yeah.
But if in my past life, I had anger issues.
Yeah.
And I need to work through that now in this life.
Oh, yes, you could be born with anger problems.
Would I have been attracted then to that type of conception? That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, right, yes.
I did not explain it well at all, did I?
No, yeah. Well, yeah, if you maybe have a life where you have got excessive anger problems and you haven't learned how to curb those or figured out why you've got excessive anger problems, then yeah, definitely you could look to have an experience that would set you off on a good foot, which would be having maybe a conception that created you angry at birth.
That's what I'm thinking. So I feel that past lives are important as well in all of this.
Yeah, because every life we live, we're not living it for shits and giggles. Although maybe we are. Who knows? This is a game after all. But, you know, the consensus is we're living these lives to learn, to grow, to evolve.
Yes.
So if you have a life and you're super angry, maybe you weren't born angry, but then as you got older, for one reason or another, life experiences turned you into like a raging Hulk, and you didn't learn to tell that, then yeah, you would want another life that would allow you maybe a longer span of learning how to contain.
So again, like healing's very deep. It's very...
And it ripples out anyway.
Yeah.
So like say you were Hulkman in previous life, so therefore you've chosen to be born angry in this life.
Yeah.
For, you know, whatever reason. So in this life, if you learn to understand that, unravel that and heal that, that will ripple out to Hulk life. Because everything's happening now anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, healing is like super deep.
It is.
And there's no like one size shoe fits all for healing. I think it's a difficult one.
It is.
But it is fascinating. Because I have never heard anyone speak about conception.
No, they don't, do they? I've heard a lot of people, and in hypnotherapy as well, talking about the womb experience.
Yes, the womb experience.
That comes up.
Not the point of conception.
Not the point of conception.
And maybe it's because, I don't know, do people look at it as a taboo subject? Because there's probably going to be people who watch this going, oh, how dare you suggest that because I have like abandonment issues or I'm angry, that my conception was not all loving. Well, that's not what we're suggesting. But what we are saying is...
And yeah, there's some issues might come up, they might be from other parts of life.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
not always going to be...
No. But if you're looking at healing, we tend to only go back to inner child. Some people go back to the womb. Well, does anybody ever go back to conception?
As well, what people tend to do is they... When they look at healing, they'll go back to inner child. Like you said, they go back to the womb.
Not very often, though. Wombs
aren't as if, you know, they're not...
It's always the inner child. But at that point, you're what, 6 already?
But there are people that go back to the womb and they'll do womb healing and womb work.
Yeah.
And then there are people that will go, and now we're going to go to your past life. And it's like they totally miss out...
Hello, where's conception?
The whole conception part of it.
Yeah. And it's not... You don't have to have the conception, however that occurred, doesn't necessarily have to be like negative. Like you said, it doesn't have to, you know, you don't have to be like sexual assault or anything like that. It could just be that one or the other is in a really bad fucking mood at the time they're doing it, and then, oh my God.
What?
Make-up sex.
Make-up sex?
Make-up sex is, you know, when you are absolutely livid with each other.
Yeah.
And you have the best sex, right?
Yeah.
It's not loving.
No.
Both of you are usually pretty pissed with each other still.
Yeah.
But it's a form of reconnection.
Yes.
Now, come on. There's got to be a lot of people who maybe you were born from makeup sex.
I could have been a makeup sex baby.
But that's an example. So no, we're not trying to say that if maybe you suffer with anger issues or anything and you haven't got to the bottom of where that's come from, that therefore that must mean that, you know, something nefarious happened at your conception. It could literally just be that your biological parents had makeup sex. Quite literally. So before you come at us in the comments.
It's not that you can...
Well, no, unless your parents are open to talking about it.
I mean, there would probably be ways like hypnotherapy, regression work, which we can do.
Yeah.
That could help with that, but.
And this it's not as well. I don't think it's necessary always to kind of know what was going on at conception.
Yeah.
It's just the energy.
Yeah.
What was the energy of my conception?
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to dig deeper into that after, cool, go for it. But maybe like it's the awareness. Okay, so my conception, the energy was frustration or anger or loneliness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then that might be able to switch a light bulb in your brain and go, well, that's why I feel lonely, even when I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, don't come at us with the hate. Because when you can, it's up to you. But we're just putting a spin on something that's not been spoke about ever.
Yeah, obviously. And you know, that's what this programme's about, isn't it? We talk about random things. So.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but that's like a huge epiphany though, isn't it? Like,
of course it is.
Yeah.
I'd say so, yeah. And we have noticed that pattern with other people. And
yeah. And with myself.
obviously
And with you.
when you did that the other day,
That was a I was like, what? That explains a lot about my life.
Yeah.
So yes, as you can see, I look different. I'm currently sat in my car doing the exit video. So yeah, ignore the face. It's quite late at night. I'm actually sat outside McDonald's because I have been editing the video whilst I've been eating some food because my son's at a training session. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to be productive. I'm going to do some work. So yeah, I'm sat in my car eating McDonald's, editing the video. We hope you really enjoyed this video. It was sort of mind-blowing information for me when I got this download during this session. It isn't something that we've ever heard anybody speak about as of yet. I mean, if you have, then please do comment and tell us, maybe link in the video so we can go to those and watch those, because it's absolutely fascinating. We've noticed some real strong correlations with this in regards to the healing sessions we've done personally with our clients, and obviously correlations with ourselves on a personal level. But yeah, it's a fascinating subject. We would really love if you have any opinions on it. Then please do drop those in the comment section below. And as always, it really helps our little channel if you can like the video, leave us a comment, even if it's a little emoji, and share this out. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, then do click the bell icon and subscribe to our channel, and then you'll get notified when our next video is out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed discussing about it. Take care, see you on the next one.